We have a vacation rental company along with a property management company for properties in Belize. And on top of that, we do development and construction in the same area. So we have a lot of customers that are operating properties that we support. We have to bill and send them a monthly accounting of their activities, and then we also have projects that are under construction, like going through a WIP process and project management, budget management, all that kind of stuff.
Okay. And so prior to bringing on PC Bennett as like a technology solutions provider, what did your operations look like? What kind of softwares were you using and how are you managing all aspects of your business?
So we were on QuickBooks, and our business had kind of like ramped up. It was sort of a hobby doing this stuff, and then it kind of took off, and we were bringing on more properties. So the time we converted, we probably had somewhere between 8 and 10 properties, plus probably one or two construction jobs going on, and every one of those was its own QuickBooks company.
Hmm.
So if I sold somebody like $100 item, I had to book it in one company, and then I had to go manually log out and log back into the other company and bill and post that. I couldn't do anything seamlessly between the two entities. So that was our biggest reason for changing and going, taking on the additional expense of having a custom software solution.
Yeah, and so I'm sure the biggest growth that you've seen since bringing on Acumatica and PC Bennett was not having to jump from business to business in QuickBooks, right? Can you kind of tell us about how that process improved by having an ERP?
Yeah, the time saving was just, even then, because at this point we now have like 20 properties and three construction jobs going. So we've expanded a lot. But even then, I think we figured out between my CFO and I, we were saving, I don't know, probably like 80 hours a month by not having to do all this double entry stuff. And just the, mistakes, because it's a lot easy. If you're doing everything manually, it's easy to mistype something or post it on one side and not the other and stuff like that. But now the bulk of our stuff is all automated. So, because y'all built us a little, like I'd say, a little widget that takes it from one company and automatically puts it on all the other sides.
Yeah, yeah. And so outside of kind of those core accounting features, are there any other uh, benefits that you've seen that Acumatica and PCB have provided?
PCB specifically, like if it's really nice, like because of course I thought about, oh, could I just do it without the support after the first, couple years or whatever. But it's really nice having you guys. If I want something modified to a report, y'all are very responsive and everything gets done really quickly. So it's totally worth it to me to keep that relationship and the support from PC Bennett. And then uh for Acumatica, I mean, trying to think of anything specific that it's also, the project module is really nice because we use it like in two different ways. We use that for like normally how it would be like a construction project with a budget, but then we also use it how between our our property management companies and their customers. We use it for that as well. So I can see, okay, because I have a property management company, I have a reservation company, and then I have like a logistics company that just buys stuff and ships it to them. And so each of those I can see like what the relationship was between, what all transactions were between them, really easy looking in projects.
Yeah, you have a little bit more insight into the kind
Mhm.
of back end process of your business.
Yeah, and just if I have to find something, it's really easy. I don't have to like dig through. I can just go to that one spot and look.
Yeah, and you have access to all of that data, right? It's not like you need to ask PCB or
No,
Acumatica to
not at
really drill
all.
into
Not at
that. Yeah.
all.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so I guess this is kind of a hypothetical question, but what would have how do you think your business would be if you never brought on PCB as like that technology solutions provider? Where do you think Gecko would have been?
I mean, it would just be a grind. We would have definitely had to add, this amount we've scaled. We've only added one. We pretty much doubled, and only added one additional bookkeeping position. Versus, there's no way if we were still doing it the old way, we would have probably had to add three more. Three instead of one.
Yeah. Wow.
and it would have been just messy. So it's so much, everything's so much cleaner and easier for us to get reports out and stuff like that now.
Yeah. And so when you have all of that insight into your business, especially when you're dealing with those kind of other companies, like you were talking about the property management company, do you see that that has kind of reduced risks that your business would be taking on because you have that insight?
Um, Probably just, especially even with our customers not getting them timely reports as we were in QuickBooks because we were just always behind and grinding, so that it could risk losing a customer because they were just annoyed with us, or even somebody suing us because they weren't getting proper information.
And so, yeah, talking about how you give information to customers, is that more of like a automated process that's been set up now, or what, or is that something manually that you do in terms of outreach?
It is, I mean, it's still slightly manually, but everything is entered real time. It's not like I enter everything in my entities and then go put it in theirs all at once. Everything's kind of done real time. So whatever I build in one has been posted in the other. So all we have to do is we just review it and then save the reports out to a folder we share with them.
Yeah,
So
very cool.
that part's manual, but not having to I don't have to recreate their information. It's already there.
Yeah, reinventing the wheel is always like that's just a boring task
Yeah,
that no one wants to do.
and we did a lot of that when we were using QuickBooks.
Yeah, so that kind of leads me to another question, which is like if we were in your present state, since you've scaled so much since bringing on PCB, how would your company be impacted if, Acumatica was just taken out right now? Where would you guys be?
I can't even, don't even, I have no earthly idea. That's what we would do. So
Yeah, and so it seems like, yeah, you're pretty reliant on the technology, but that's because of the benefits that it has provided, not because it's something that is a necessity.
right.
Yeah. And so in terms of other process improvements, has there really been anything you've seen, or is it mainly just kind of like that reporting function that you really rely on?
The we have like I think I alluded to it earlier. We have two, I think just two or three, maybe like automated processes that y'all built for us that are very specific to our company. Like I won't go into like accounting details, but that are super helpful. And it's just they like I was saying, they take all this information on the one side and automatically post it on the other side because it has to be done a certain way for so I have proper tax reports for Belize.
Mm,
I can't just do an intercompany function like you could if I had two companies and I was charging an expense from one to the other, I could just do it through intercompany, but I can't do it because I need real tax invoices. But PC Bennett created what we needed, and but it's very nice because it's just automated. We don't have to enter it twice. The system does it.
yeah, so that's pretty interesting. I kind of want to drill down a little bit deeper there. So do you mean that there's like specific tax forms and documents that you need to fill out for Belize that obviously wouldn't have been in Acumatica because it typically deals with U.S. transactions?
Yeah, it's kind of twofold. Like so what company A bills well through the projects module we buy and spend and have monthly fees and stuff like that that we have for all these 20 plus entities, individual properties. And so we collect all that in projects every month. And then on the, and then I can't just, I can't just charge those through intercompany to those properties because I need tax invoices on my property management side. I have to show that I have to pay sales tax on it, but I have to show that I have an actual invoice with an invoice number. And so that's why we run it through projects, and projects makes us invoices. And then we have a widget that takes those invoices and posts them on all the individuals entities. And then when we get ready to do our tax report, they'll also build us a table that matches our tax report. So we just print that out and copy and paste it into the tax report,
Yeah, yeah,
or
that's interesting.
export it and copy and paste it into the tax report.
Yeah, sure. And so we've talked about how you scale. You said you basically have doubled since bringing on PCB as a partner. So in terms of future growth, is that something that you think will be sustainable because of the system you have in place, or is that just something your business isn't interested in right now? Kind of where's your future looking?
No, we're definitely still growing. I mean, the technology that we set up with you guys, and we've spent a lot of time and some money into our reservation systems and in our management down in Belize. We're literally, like I said, we have 20 properties right now, and we have like 6 more in the queue that are coming online in the next year.
Yeah. And so you don't
So,
really have too much worry about bringing those on right now.
no, because it's just, like I said, it's so much easier to do with the way the system is.
Yeah, that's fantastic. So yeah, I mean, frankly, I think I've covered just about everything that I wanted to chat about, but is there any additional feedback you have in terms of what PC Bennett does for you, or maybe some specific benefits or drawbacks that you have experienced since bringing it on, or drawbacks that you had experienced when you didn't have us?
Like just recently we were discussing because we've brought on some partners down new partners down in Belize, and normally I would just like bang my head against the wall. I wouldn't want to transfer my accounting to a new company, even though that's the right clean way to do it um, with these new partners. And so I contacted PC Bennett thinking we were going to have to do like a whole little mini rebuild because it's kind of changed some of these automated processes. And you guys spent like 30 minutes on the phone with me, and we figured out it wasn't that big a deal and I could pretty much do it myself. I just need a couple things that I need help with. So whereas I was going, how much is this going to cost me? Blah, blah. They explained to me that it's really not going to cost me anything, just my normal fee.
And yeah, so is that would that have been included in the customer care plan that PC Bennett
Yeah, because
provides?
that's why I was like, do I get my monthly hours go towards what this is going to cost or whatever? But instead of like them trying to like make me think it was going to be some big deal, they just went through it line by line with me, and it wasn't that big a deal.
Yeah. Do you find
So
you have similar experiences whenever you're working with support or consultants at PC Bennett? They tend to be there for you?
yeah, definitely. And I've never had since all the initial setup, I've never had them try to come back and like nickel and dime me or anything. Everything's just been included in my support plan, which I appreciate.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Yeah, I know that's something that we really pride ourselves on. That customer care plan is a little unique compared to what other vendors are able to provide. So I'm glad that really kind of satisfies the needs that you have.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much. I really appreciate your time and especially for hopping on in short notice. So yeah, again, really
No
appreciate it.
worries.
All right. Well, thank you very
All right,
much.
thanks. All right, bye bye.